Well, hello everybody. Are you a pickle? Are you a turtle? Are you a snowflake? Are you a member of the NMW club? Oh, there's so many things that you can belong to and be a part of and be if you're tuning into this channel every day. A snowflake is somebody that's unique. Because, why? Because forget this whole we can be all homogenized and do the same food plan and the same macros and the same foods that we have to avoid and the same foods that we can allow. Forget that. That's what makes us a snowflake. Are you a pickle? Well, a pickle is somebody that's done keto and then found another way or gone back to the old way, which could be the standard American diet. Are you familiar with that? Lots of highly processed grains, lots of sugars, all the different types of sugars that come under those hidden names. At last count, I found 68. I heard somebody say the other day that there's like 150. Those chemists are busy. They're busy. Why? Because they have to keep reinventing frankenfoods to make them seem like they could be nutritious. How do they do that? Well, they add a small dose of a chemical vitamin, or they add something like an omega-3 to it. They just add some partially phony fake foods to it, so then they can splash it all over the front of whatever it is, and you buy it. So it's very, very interesting. And if you are turtle, you are like most of us. You've had decades of eating CRAP, which is also SAD, which is also why we're here, because we couldn't eat those types of foods anymore. And our doctor started shouting things over the bow like Lipitor, or high blood pressure medicine, or type 2 diabetes. And so we got scared, hopefully, scared into doing a keto, not just diet, but lifestyle, something that's going to keep you here for a long, long time. And we can always be discovering things that we thought were keto legal, and suddenly, ooh, it's not working. Why do we think it's keto legal? One, because it has no sugar. Two, because it has no carbs. Well, what would that be? That would be diet soda. It just doesn't work. Once you start eating clean, clean means it's wholesome, real food. It hasn't been super, super, super processed. It hasn't been done up in a lab. So you think it's a pretty safe thing to have. There are so many parts to keto, and you can go deep. You know, there's a lot of talk now about the deeper state keto and how that is. Well, that's how I look at what I do with my items that I choose to eat. How deep can I go with my choices? Yes, organic. Yes, grass-fed. But how many more? Where else is there things? Well, there's things like if you have heavy whipping cream, it's aiming for the organic. It's aiming for the one that doesn't have carrageenan in it. Carrageenan comes from a seafood, but by the time they get done with it, it's not a good item to put into your body. And I began to do a chapter review of the Battatives that somebody gave me for Christmas. And carrageenan was one of them. And then there were some things like meat glue. It was so gross, I'd never heard of it before. But come to think of it, isn't meat glue what makes some of the deli processed cold cuts that we count as still legal? I have pepperoni on my incredible keto pizza, which came from the Eat Rich and Live Long book by Dr. Gerber and Ivor Cummins. And I put pepperoni on, but I buy the uncured. It's the better bad choice. So I don't know what's in it. I mean, of course, it has a long list of additives, but it doesn't have nitrites or nitrates. But then I buy bacon sometimes that does have those items in them because I like the flavor, which is usually cherry wood or apple wood smoked. So, you know, I'm not perfect either. I don't have a halo that I have to polish. I'm not pure as the driven snow, also known as pads. I remember One guy that I knew back in the probably 70s or 80s, he said, they call me pads. It's like, what's that for? Here is the driven snow. So a lot of us come here holding on to low fat, no fat, carb free, sugar free items that we think will still make the cut. And technically they do as keto legal foods. But then all of a sudden, maybe you're getting reactions from those artificial sweeteners. Maybe you're getting reactions from the diet sodas that were just a staple in your life. Sometimes, all of a sudden, it's like, this isn't working for me anymore. I know what you mean. Same thing with sometimes with commercial condiments and salad dressings. When you flip those over and begin to read labels, it's like, what? Soybean oil? What? Canola oil? What? All these weird ingredients in these things that we were using initially when we began keto because they worked. And it's like, well, everybody else is having mayonnaise. Why can't I? Well, are you having Hellmann's Real? What's that real stand for anyway? Do you think it's a marketing tool? It's a brilliant one. It's been around forever because when you think of Hellmann's, you always see the real above it, don't you? And then sometimes with hot dogs, not all hot dogs are good for us. And it was funny, I was watching Dr. Oz a couple of days ago, and they had Dr. Mark, no, he's not a doctor, Mark Shaxner on. He's the one that wrote The Dorito Effect. He also has a new book out called The Steak Book, I think. And he was talking about turkey, and a lot of us gravitated towards all the turkey products, the ground turkey, the turkey bacon, the turkey pepperoni, turkey cold cuts, the variations of regular cold cuts, but we bought them coming from turkey. And once he got done with his expose of turkey, go back to the beef, go back to the pork, go back to the pork belly with the bacon, and don't buy, the turkey bacon is made to look like pork bacon. I mean, right there is like Frankenfood, right? And so the fat saved isn't that much, and we like fat. So, sometimes when somebody does a food review, it's kind of like, well, that's what I'm looking for. I want the saturated fat. I want the healthy fats, the canola, not the canola oil, excuse me, not the canola oil or the vegetable oil or the corn oil, the safflower oil, the sunflower oil. No, we want coconut oil, hopefully organic, unrefined, extra virgin coconut oil. We want organic olive oil. We want walnut oil, almond oil, macadamia nut oil. Oh, yes, indeed. And our avocado oil. Those are the good, healthy oils. And I've told this story about the earthy, crunchy, all-natural, locally sourced breakfast restaurant. And when I saw in their storage closet, because the door was wide open, all their Wesson oils on the shelves, I went, really? It did have a different taste, something I couldn't ever duplicate at home when making an omelet. Well, now I know. It's because it's got those fake oils. They aren't healthy for you. They cause inflammation. So we learn as we go, and we begin to give up some of our sacred cows, some of our things that no matter what. Our no matter what club, when we got to keto, was a whole different thing than the no matter what club that we have with our keto family now. Totally different. And you weren't going to take gum away from me. You weren't going to take a lot of different things from me. Why would I have heavy whipping cream when I've had fat-free half and half from Land O'Lakes with carrageenan in it forever? Well, I slowly learned why. So we learn as we go. We give some things up. Some are tougher to pull from our bony little hands. And so we just do what we can do. Keto has as deep as you want to go, as wide as you want to go, and as healthy as you want to go. A lot of us have, I have job lot meats. I do. Because if I was to buy, as it is now, the filet that I buy on Sunday at Market Basket's $20 a pound. if I was to get the same quality in a grass fed, it would be like $40. Same with the ribeyes. I know, I know. Sometimes I want to, sometimes I wish I did, and I have lots in the past done only grass fed, but it's just a better bad choice. And I read where meats, job lot meats can cause inflammation as well. A lot of people won't go near red meat. A lot of people won't go near seafood because of the mercury. A lot of people don't go near cold cuts. It's how you want to do it. With my eggs, I have organic jumbo. That's just my preference. I buy Pete and Jerry's, usually jumbo organic eggs, but I did find jumbo organic eggs at Market Basket on Sunday, and they were $3.99 for a dozen. That beats the $6.99 of Pete and Jerry's. So I bought them. Why not? As long as they're jumbo, because this little piggy likes jumbo ones, it works. So speaking of eggs, I am having a big A salad. And you say, what's A stand for? Yes. Big ass salad. And the phrase is coined from Mark Sisson. And he has a new keto book out. It's probably a year old now. But he's gone back to keto. And so he's fascinating. He's great to watch in his interviews. He's very forthcoming with his own journey. So I do like to listen to him. But then I started listening to Dr. Vong, who does gastric sleeves and operations. And I listened to him not because I had one of those, but because he's just got such great little podcasts. And he's salty, and he's spicy, and he has the same language as Scott the truck driver. And that's, I guess it's okay for me to hear it, you know, but it's kind of funny hearing it come out of a doctor's mouth. I guess we put on them that they shouldn't be using swear words, but they do. And so he's great too. So that's what I'm feeling like to have tonight. And so that's what I'm having. And I assembled it before I began this video. So these are my nutrients for the day, my macros for the day. My calories are 1,435 calories. My protein is 31.3. My carbs are 9.2. And my fats are 136. Well, what goes into the big A salad that adds up to those macros? I've got, I think, 5 different lettuces. I've got Olivia's Spring Mix Organic. I've got organic red leaf lettuce from Ahead of It. I've got organic baby spinach, organic baby arugula. I guess that's it. Organic, yeah, 4 different lettuces. So I've got those and 40 to 60 grams weighed on my kitchen scale in my big salad bowl. I've got 2 jumbo hard-boiled eggs, Pete and Jerry's, finishing up a carton. I have 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil and macadamia nut oil on top. I have 60 grams of lightly roasted asparagus. I've already done those and chopped it up. I have 30 grams of bacon chopped up. I will slowly heat those up just so they're a little bit higher than room temperature at the time of the salad. And I think that's it. There's no other added things into it. So it's the asparagus and the bacon and the 2 hard-boiled eggs into the salad, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, and that's perfect. It's a low-protein night. That works. I had tenderloin yesterday, so it just kind of balances out. And it is a work night, so I like having that. It's high in fat. It will carry me. And I got up at 10:45 to get ready to go to work at midnight. And it all works for me. And that's what I'm doing here today. How are you doing with your keto give-ups? Have you given up anything when you went, oh, now I realize I shouldn't have been having that, or I might want to give it up? And you don't beat yourself up about it. You just reconfigure your keto food plan, and you just get a little bit better. When we know better, we do better, right? And that's what I love about keto, is it just allows us our own pace, and we can get better and healthier and lose weight too. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom in Food with Keto. Under 20 today, under 10 today, and I'm having that big A salad. You can also find me at ketocoachingsarah.com for one-on-ones, either emails, they come in 30-day packages, or phone calls. So go take a look, ketocoachingsarah.com. It's like a little bit of a 30-day boot camp or a phone call just to get you motivated. And I will see you the next time. Thank you so much for watching. Please join me in this keto journey with the keto community. Bye-bye for now.